Decepticons, fall in line. Rank file now. Why do we have to do this at all? I mean, really. So many. Here's a reason.
You insubordinate rube.
Okay, hello and welcome back, Transformer TCG fans, enthusiasts, and the curious. So, without further ado, there is a storm on the horizon. So, I've been hearing thunder already. There's another storm coming. The final storm to yet be revealed. And tonight is the night. So hold on to your seats. Get ready for... It is Unicron. So, the Grand Poobah of all Transformers did officially come into the game thanks to the arc. I think it was even drawn by Rodimus Primal. I think it was him. So, I drew one myself. And we have that. And I tried that. And he's missing again. Let's hold that thought. So he has been recolored. He doesn't look like it's right out of bone by Jeff Smith or anything. So it's not black and white. It's all colored. Both sides. It's all finished. There's just a few details I need to change. So when you can go to the Dropbox, and if you so choose to screenshot, copy, and print a few wow. Shit. I wish that light was better. Excuse. We're about to go to the table here in a second. So, just a little backdrop here in case you haven't been following. Now, like I said, I've drawn it years ago. This Unicron has been a long time coming. You're not going to need to any sort of setup or battle any other characters before this. It is just one set. It's 25 stars. There's no stratagem unless I add one, but right now there is no stratagem for this character. And I don't know how I could make a stratagem for the... I guess I could, because I don't have... He's 6 cards, character cards, if you remember, to be able to have one side and the other. We're going to get to that and how this works. So in the meantime, hold your horses. Mashed potatoes can be your friends. We'll always make sure to transform a brand new way every single day, just like Hot Rod. Let's go back to the 86 movie and let's try to add this monster into the game. Okay, here we are. Now, I'm standing right now. My camera is very high. So let me sit down. We're going to go over Unicron. You start off with... This is how you start off, with the ones with the stars on the character cards. 8, 8, and 9, which should total 25. 8 and 8 is 16, plus 9 is 25. So, a couple of interesting things to note. We're going to try to make sure, once we build this, that we have the room. Every piece has the planet trait on it, except... Yeah, even in bot mode. But let's just start off. I think this is the third time I've tried recording this. So when you start, this is what you see on your battlefield. You have a ranged. The left horn is a ranged trait. The right horn is the melee trait. The Maw is the specialist trait. They also each have a planet trait because this is his alt mode. This is the only time you're going to see the word alt mode for this character. Each card is independent to themselves, but yet at the same time, it is the whole character. Now, because everyone is labeled simply Unicron. He is the Universal Dominator. I got that right out of the old Marvel comics for his function, sub name, whatever you want to call it. So, okay. Pretty simple. Attack, health, and defense are the same for both horns. Attack of 4, health of 11, defense of 1. Sorry about the shadow. The Maw in alt mode is attack of 1, defense of 4, which is complete opposite of the horns. So now, a couple of things to note. Let's just keep reading. This has stealth while untapped. So the Maw, while this is untapped, has stealth. Now, there's another character we could bring in if you wanted to. That's going to give these brave. So when you're tapped out, if that happens, then yes, they can go into this. But if you have this other character, which is actually going to be the controlled Ghost of Starscream, then he gives brave to these. So there's that. But before we get that far, let's look at specifically these cards, and we're going to keep going. We got to do this quickly. Pierce 2, bold 1, left horn, right horn, pierce 2, tough 1. Okay, pretty simple. Now the Maw is the key to everything, because I started working on this before I even realized the arc, before they merged and combined with other entities and became a Gestalt. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't realize they were making their own Unicron. I had no idea. Oh goodness, I got it here somewhere. I think it's theirs. They called it the Chaos Bringer. The Unicron Raid. That's right. The Unicron Raid. This is theirs. And it's also a 25-star character. I'm trying to remember the guy that drew this. He used to draw for Disney, I think. I can't remember his name. But anyway, really, I've never tried this before. He has 35 health, which is, comparable to the Combiners. This also has, you add it all together, 35 health. I didn't realize, I haven't pulled out that Unicron in a while. Like I said, I've never even played with it. 11, and 13 equals 35. So, and I was doing that for the average Combiner character. This is not all of Unicron. This is what you start off with. Let's get back to them all. Has stealth while untapped. When you flip to this mode, you may tap this. If you do, bring in a Unicron part or a 5-star minion to chaos, or minion of chaos. I forgot which verbiage I used. These parts here are not my final. My final I'll show for you on screen. A minion of chaos. That's right. Minion of chaos. By Unicron. No. Minion of chaos. Where's my Maw? My Meemaw. Or bring in a 5-star minion to chaos character from outside the game to the battlefield. Only one minion of chaos character per game. Okay, so I'm being really specific. I thought I had those characters printed out somewhere, but I cannot find them. So I apologize. And those characters do not flip, and they're the size of a battlefield card. Okay, so it's going to look really kind of impressive. That was the whole point. And they're screenshots from the '86 movie. I apologize, but there's not new artwork, so there's that. You may, and then on all of these, I originally had like Unicron parts, but now they say you may flip to bot mode only when all planet cards of Unicron are in the battlefield and or the KO. If they are not on the battlefield, they're not in the KO, they're outside the game. You cannot flip to bot mode if you have parts outside the game that have not been brought onto the battlefield by the Maw. Okay? So there's that. Now, which means this, yes, this flips. Nothing else flips, but this flips back and forth. So Unicron's head can come out and go back down, etc. It sounds funny. Let's flip it over. Still has the planet trait and still a specialist trait. Attack is still 0. Defense is still 4. When in this mode, reduce damage by... Let me see here. Wanted sturdy. Reduce damage by 1. When in this mode, reduce damage by 1 for each planet you control. And like I said, they all have the trait planet on them. Okay, and it does not mean, ooh, I've flipped to this mode, so reduce 1 damage, I can reduce their damage by 3. No, you're not doing that. It's just whenever one defends, I'm going to have to rewrite this. Saying this out loud is making more sense. I apologize for this delay. So yeah, I see how I need to reword that. So I got to reword the Unicron head here. So it's going to be more like, when a planet you control defends, reduce your opponent's damage by 1. That's how this is going to need to be. When in this mode, when one of your planets defend, etc., etc. So that's what's going to be going on here. Okay, it's not stackable sturdy. And I actually went to Transformers.cards looking for sturdy. I never found sturdy. I'm like, okay, let me just reword this myself, and I got in trouble. I gotta reword this again. So yeah, just give me realize I got to fix that. So here's this. So we flip to the Maw. We flip to this to its alt mode. So when you flip to this mode, I can tap it like a patrol. This is not a tapping for turn. This is the tap. So if I do that, I can bring in a Unicron planet card. I think I had used to have part, but I've changed it all to card for the sake of the technicality of it. So we get them all in here. And yeah, he still kind of looks, it's all recolored, but yeah, it looks like a deflated, funky medicine ball or basketball or something, so I apologize. So, okay. Now, one thing you're going to notice is these all say 5, and what you're going to see on the screen is going to be a little different. It's going to show 3. The health has been changed to 3. So now the total, excuse me, not all to 3. What did I can't read that. Bottom left is going to be 3. Bottom right is going to be 3, and his bottom
Be Grimlock kick butt.
Bottom middle is going to be 4. So now if you can get all the 3 other parts in, the total health is going to go from 35 to 45. 3, 4, and 3. Okay, I have played around with the health with this like crazy, like you wouldn't believe. So going from 35 to 45 makes more sense. Not 50, not 60, not 44, not 46. Okay, and in the meantime, let's say that this is at some point. Let's say at some point I brought in, you can do either or. You can either, when you flip to bot mode, and it is bot mode, not body, on here, bot mode to alt mode, I do the tap. I can bring in one of those non-flipping characters controlled characters, controlled Cyclonus, controlled Galvatron, controlled Ghost of Starscream, controlled Scourge. Cyclonus is going to give the planet card of Unicron tough 1 for battle. Galvatron is going to give them all pierce 1 until end of turn. So, and then Scourge is going to give them all bold 1 until end of turn. Each planet card of Unicron gets bold 1. Well, you have, and you're going to, I can hear you already. Grillenheimer, all these characters that you're showing are hybrid factions. They're half Decepticon, half Unicron, or Unicronian, or whatever. Yeah, that's true. Are they included? They also have the planet trait on them like these do. Yes, but I'll allow it. They're supposed to be, was originally only the planet parts of Unicron, but since they share the faction and they share the trait, I'll allow it. So if you have if you bring in Scourge, then bold 1, bold 1, bold 1, bold 1, and bold 1. I'll allow it. And each of these tiny little characters, you can only bring 1 into the game. Only 1. Their attacks are all the same. Their stats are all the same. Attack of 2, health of 3, defense of 1. That's it. 5-star character. All right. And it's just for a distraction to be able to get your opponent to try to knock them out instead of trying to go after your building cards for trying to build Unicron. Okay, so there's that. Where'd that come from? Okay, so let's say we've got a piece KO'd. A piece here, something like along these lines, and it's my turn, and I flip the Maw to alt mode, bring in the last part. I can, and I think I put this on here as a Mother May I. You may flip to bot mode only when all planet cards of Unicron are in the battlefield and or the KO. So I've got 1 piece in the KO, 5 of them up here, but I have this one not yet attacked or tapped for attack. So I can tap for attack if I want to, but if I do that, I won't be able to build him, flip him to bot mode until my next turn. But if I want to and go ahead, which would be kind of silly or to not do it, go ahead, flip him over, or flip all the cards over to flip him over. He's flipping out. Yeah, he's flipping out all right. So, and then boom. So now these stats are null and void. Okay, this is down here is now what you're looking at for his stats and his abilities. He's all now 1 card, essentially 1 character, even though he was multiple cards to get him to get to this point. Now you have to consider it like a combiner. All right. But he does not have a body mode. This is maybe I should even have combined mode on here, but instead I have bot mode. But he does not flip. The reminder text is on here. This can't flip like all the others before we got to this point, except that 1 card. So when we get him to bot mode, a couple of things are going to happen. When this combines to bot mode, KO, if I have the character on here, up here, KO the 5-star character that was summoned by Unicron. Okay, so I got to KO that. And if I have upgrades on him from when he was in alt mode, and you can put upgrades on any of the parts after you bring these in. if you so choose to. Scrap each upgrade that was equipped on this in planet mode. Maybe I should have parentheses S. Gosh, I don't want to do all that again for the 8th time. And repair 1 to this for every 2 upgrades scrapped this way. Originally I had it repair 1 for each upgrade scrapped, and in testing that was too strong. So I'm like, okay, let's do it every 2 upgrades, not 1. So if I had, because in the one game I had up to 7 upgrades on Unicron, I built him. I was able to take 7, repair it by 7, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that's too much. Well, Grillenheimer, do we round up or round down? No, you do neither. If you had, oh wow, these are almost all upgrades. That's 4, 5, I don't know, 6, 7. Let's say you happen to have these upgrades on the character. Okay, scrap, repair 1, scrap, repair 2, scrap, repair 3, scrap. Nothing happens. You scrapped 7, but only the 6 out of the 7 are allowing you to repair 3. Not 7, not 4, 3. Okay? Because the last one gets scrapped, because they all get scrapped, but only, you're not rounding up. Okay? I did not write that in here, but as technical and specific as this is, I tried to explain this the easiest way I could without getting too technical or too wordy. Let's keep going. I'm losing time. This cannot equip upgrades. This cannot flip. One, it's too much of an issue trying to flip this thing back and forth. Number 1, he doesn't quite line up quite right. Now, in doing this, I have corrected this piece. I don't know how many times. I'm not going to do it again. I don't want to. If I need to put S for planet modes in parentheses, if someone twists my arm and comes out of the internet to twist I might do it. Okay, but I'm not too worried about it. His stats are 7, health of 45, defense of 3, bold 1, pierce 2, tough 1. Originally, this has been all over the place. And actually, originally he was going to lose 5 health going from planet mode to bot mode, from 50 to 45. I've done that, and I went down from 50 to 44, and then I'm like, okay, it's 44 on both sides, and I'm like, finally agreed with 3, 4, and 3 to give it an extra 10 health once the other 3 cards are sucked in to Unicron to build it to be able to flip him. Okay. And then normally I'll just use this card to show that it's tapped or when it's not. And for attack of 7 for a 25 star character built with 6 cards, it's kind of nice. But at the same time, this is going to pose some interesting issues because 1, he cannot equip upgrades. You cannot put a handheld blaster on this thing. You're not supposed to. That's not how this works. That's why I gave him like almost no attack at all, except for the horns in his other modes until he flips. So then I let him sort of go Super Saiyan, so to speak. Oh, the sunset is wonderful. Sorry. And I tried to use bot mode and bot mode. Maybe I should use this to show this as combined mode. but I'm not worried about it. He's still like one character. So that's why I didn't use the term combined mode, because he's not multiple characters coming together like Defensor, Bruticus, or Devastator, or anything like that. It's just Unicron. So that's why I just have bot mode here, even though the cards combine into one character. And then for this piece here, this is original, but on the updated one, I stretched this out a little bit because the aspect was a little off. I'm sorry, my camera is way above me. So I'm projecting a little bit so you can hear me because I don't have a microphone. I apologize. And yeah, I drew this myself, and if you've been following the channel for 2-3 years, I finished drawing this ages ago. But now he is completely recolored in the computer. As a result, there's a lot of black on here. I would not suggest printing this yourself at home unless you got the ink to do it. So I have the document getting ready to be put in my Dropbox. If you want to try this sucker, this monster, and see how he goes, and test him for me, that'd be great. And I've tried testing this whenever I can. I've done a lot of changes to get to this point. I think this is the final version of this character that I've been working on since like 2020. Okay, 4 years. 3 or 4 years at least. So I like this. I think this works. I've made one card for him that is called Grab a Part. Parts is parts. Where's the beef? So Grab a Part is from the movie when he, reaches out. He's transforming, really. But he's in mid-transformation, so you see the hand come out. And I use that to make a blank action card that says put a planet card of Unicron from outside the game onto your battlefield. So yeah, you can use escape routes, or oh gosh, what's the name of that? Or rapid conversions to flip them all. So, or the blazes was that? Guess it was one of the cats. Or you can use Grab a Part, or whatever, or even hide and seek? Because I think I had that, and I was wanting to use it, but I didn't have, because of the and you may not even need the Ghost of Starscream to give Brave to the horns. The Ghost, because unless you're tapped out, but because when this is untapped, it has stealth, which is nice. Oh gosh, hit and run. Yeah, I was using hit and run in here, but because I had no damage on here, and I could have still used it to flip the character, but there was no damage to actually move to one of my opponent's characters in my mock games that I've been playing with this. But anyway, so don't forget about hit and run, as well as your escape routes and rapid conversions. But I also have one that is, again, a blank action card to be able to pull in a card and put it in the game for when you're trying to build the character. So yeah, this is pretty much Unicron. Took me a while to go over it. I apologize about this. Apologize about the weight. The weight has been killing y'all. The anticipation has been killing me too. Not literally, just figuratively. But it's been taking me a long time to get this figured out, and I think I have. So you're not trying to use this to where you're in a raid mode and you're having to if I remember correctly, you have to fight the other characters. I think it's Galvatron, Scourge, and Cyclonus before you even can fight Unicron. So they did it in stages, but this is just Unicron. If you want to play with Unicron, you can pick this Unicron and go after your opponent. But then we need to talk about decks, because let's flip him back to Planet. I got to call this quits, guys. My voice is just... I normally don't talk this much. What do we see here? We have attack of 4 here. That's it. 0, 0, 0. Defense of 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. The defenses are low. The attacks are low. The healths are low. So, and then when you are end up able to flip to bot mode to have an attack of 7, you're gonna... You only have bold 1 and tough 1. That's it. If your opponent is using some sort of oppress, then you're not even going to get that. So you're definitely going to need a really well mixed deck of about equal orange or blue, or maybe you want to go heavy blue-black. But even if you do that, you'll get some pierce, but your pierce cannot be more than your attack. So there's that to consider. So you might want to, again, I'm thinking half and half, which I'm kind of forcing you to mix your deck with this character. I don't know if this is genius or dumb. I don't know, but he, 3, 4, and 3, not the 5s. But wow, for the amount of health he has versus the lack of attack and the lack of defense, he may go down quicker than you think. I don't know, especially with if you're playing casual gaming, to be able to play this in a casual game setting, because it's nothing official or even unofficial about this. You go to Transformers.cards, you will not find Unicron. You will not find this. So yeah, you can have power punches and 3 crystals of power and 3 launchers if you want, and 3 leap into battles. And, oh gosh, where'd that card go? It was just here. I only had 1 in here. 3 grenade launchers, Now, you probably don't want cards with an extra health, because, yeah, it's going to make it harder to get him. Well, maybe you do. I'll leave that up to you. I mean, it'll give you some pierce, because all those cards pretty much have pierce on them for the most part. You're going to want some pierce. You can use one of the other controlled characters to give you your planet cards, all bold, all tough, all pierce 1. It's not much. Should I have made more with those to give you a reason? But at the same time, they only have a health of 3. It's only going to be good for 1 distraction from 1 turn from your opponent, if they even want to go into that character. Because even once you're able to flip, they got to be KO'd. They go bye-bye. If you want to try... No, I think PTT, that's a star card, isn't it? So you can't use star cards. He's maxed out at 25. Unless you're really playing casual and doing a great war and you have 25 other stars or something crazy. I don't know. But yeah, I've probably gone 30 minutes here. But I like this. I think this works. I haven't tested it the best that I can test, because I'm only me. No one else will play with me here. Unfortunately, I have lived with people that are stick in the muds. All right, for the lack of a better term, they're stick in the muds. my son will bring up any game to try to play except this. So we've played Munchkin. We've played every Monopoly game we have, which is about 6 different Monopolies. Not Cards Against Humanity, but what are the exploding cats and all sorts of stuff, that Uno and whatever. But he does not want to touch this game. I forced it on him one time. I was trying to let him win, and he still lost 3 times in a row. And I'm like, oh, gee, now he doesn't want to ever play again. That was 5 years ago, so, you know. But here's that. Here is this Unicron. Tell me what you think. This has been almost 4 years in the making. Oh, my gosh. I sound like the 86 movie now. So, and I better go. Okay, it's been under 25 minutes. Yay. So, what do you think? I like this. I think this works. It's been it's been like a Rubik's Cube getting this thing together, getting it drawn, getting it colorized twice, the last time into the computer. So it actually looks good. And like I think I interrupted, got distracted. Don't print this at home unless you have the ink. Go somewhere else and print it on their computer. Go to your Dropbox or wherever you have your documents, or stick your thing in, your memory card, and go, ooh, okay, let's print this off. I'll pay for, and go to somewhere else, Office Depot, Office Max, Office wherever, and print out this big old Grand Poobah. He eliminates even the toughest stains and the toughest black ink wells as well. So with that in mind, thanks for being here. Thanks for waiting. Thanks for your patience. Thanks for everything. I've been maybe a little too oddly dedicated to this game, but with not enough time to do, not enough time to test, not enough time truly dedicated. And my family probably thinks I'm obsessed with this, but I'm not. I'm really not. I don't get a whole lot of time with this. I'm spending time with them. They're traveling. They're on their way back. So I've actually got the chance to, for the 3rd time, record this and do a decent job on trying to explain how this works. One more time. You start with the cards with the stars. Every time you flip this to its alt mode, you may tap it. You don't have to. You may tap it and bring another Unicron card in. Keep doing it over and over and over. Once you get them all in, then you can be able to flip them all over. Get him into bot mode. KO the extra character if you used one of them. You can only use one of them per game. From outside the game, you have to KO that. Scrap all the upgrades. You get to repair 1 for every 2 upgrades scrapped. Maybe that's dangerous. We'll see you next time. Let me know what you think of this. This has been an adventure. An adventure into the stars. We'll see you next time. Throw scraplets at that like button. And as always, Autobots, flip out and let's... For a time, I have considered spelling your wretched little card game. But now you shall witness its dismemberment